So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CPX 2014 in Melbourne. My name's Kurt Hansen. I'm the Regional Director for Checkpoint Software in Australia and New Zealand, and I'm very pleased to be able to bring this event to my hometown here in Melbourne. We've got 550 people registered today, and I think there's at least 300, more than 300 here now from a range of different organisations. So really pleased with the support that we've got. Keep coming in, people. Don't worry about me. Don't let me distract you. Really pleased with the agenda that we've got, and we'll obviously go through that in a moment. But just wanted to say thank you all for taking the time out of your day, whether it's you can join us for the keynotes or the breakouts later. We've put together a sensational agenda. Obviously some terrific speakers from Checkpoint, and I'll introduce them as we go through the day. But also we've got a number of our ecosystem partners and our partners involved. So Checkpoint Exchange, Checkpoint Ideas, Innovation. What we've done today, I think, is bringing together a number of people that are working in the cyber security industry. So really we're looking for this collaboration and exchange of ideas. So as I said before, if you want to actually meet anybody, if there's an organisation or a partner or one of our sponsors that you do want to meet during the day, just grab hold of a Checkpoint team member, and we can obviously set up a meeting during the coffee break. Those that have registered, obviously we know where you are, we've got your contact details. This event would not have been possible without the help of some of our sponsors. So we've got, the sponsors have all got a stand set up out there in the foyer you would have seen on the way in. So please, if you can spend some time meeting some of our sponsors and our other partners, that would be very useful and very helpful to us. I wanted to sort of set the scene for the day. And just, I've been working in Checkpoint dedicated to the security industry now for about 10 months. It's my first role in the IT industry after 25 years working for a company that's solely dedicated to security. Other companies, have part of their business in security and they treat it as a bit of an add-on or it's a part-time venture. At Checkpoint it's dedicated, and I've really spent a bit of time over the last few months getting to know many of you, getting to know the industry. And so I sort of wondered why is this important? Why are we working hard on this particular pursuit? And I came across this study, just did the Google. The World Economic Forum in January in Europe had a meeting. They facilitated a meeting with McKinsey. They had a number of key executives from the World Economic Forum. And they did this interesting report about risk and responsibility in a hyper-connected world. The summary of that report, it's a 50-page document, well worth reading, was that their view was that the current trends of people going online, cloud computing, big data, analytics, is going to create in the next half a dozen years till 2020, somewhere between $9.6 and $21.6 trillion of economic value. So that means the economy is moving online. And if the trends we're seeing today from the attacker side, and that'll be spoken about a lot today from some of the speakers, if the trends continue, that up to $3 trillion of that could actually be at risk of economic value around the world. Now, what does that mean to us? $3 trillion out of $10 to $21 trillion of economic value. As we'll speak about later today, it could mean people stop going online. It could mean people are not trusting, the banks, their own identity, so they stay off online, and that destroys the value. What does it mean for Australia? Well, Australia, sorry, the Kiwis, I know there's about 20 of you that have come over, so I didn't include New Zealand in this. Sorry, Hamish, and your partners and customers. But Australia, at about $1.5 trillion of world GDP, if you extrapolate that down, that means $66 billion would be at risk to our economy. Therefore, the potential impact of cybercrime is 4.5% of GDP. Obviously, that's a big swing factor because we're only growing at 2 to 3% of GDP. So a serious cyber incident continued over the next sort of 5 or 6 years could actually push the economy into recession. So I just wanted to say congratulations to everyone in this room. We've got over 300 people in this room that either are completely immersed or they manage a function in security in a customer organisation, in one of our partners, in one of our sponsoring vendors, or the Checkpoint staff. I wanted to say congratulations to all of you for actually being in this field because it is just so important. So well done. So on that note, I'll just actually quickly mention a bit about Checkpoint in Australia and New Zealand. There's 63 of us now. We've bred quite well over the last few years, thanks to the support of our president. 63 of us dedicated to that vision of protecting our customers from cybersecurity. 25 of them are security engineers. Most of my engineers during the day will be at the live labs we've got set up, where we're demonstrating a lot of the key functions, not just firewall, all of the other things you need to surround yourself with security protections are out there. So please, particularly if you're on a technical nature, go and see our engineers and have a chat to them. We've also got this really cool thing that we've revived when I came to Checkpoint at the start of the year. It's a graduate program. Checkpoint do it globally. I was asked to do it here in Australia. We've got 5 or 6 of our graduates that started with us at the beginning of the year. So we're taking young people out of university, straight out of university at 22, 23 years of age, and bringing them straight into the world, the IT world of cybersecurity. And that's an accelerated program of a year or two of intense training. Some of them are here today. We're looking at doing another intake specifically on engineering graduates at the end of the year. We really need good candidates. I sort of had a feeling that amongst many of you, you would either have a child, know somebody who has a child graduating from university, specifically looking at engineering and science in the next intake, and please go ahead and meet them and take a leaflet to see what we're doing with that program. But we're really keen on bringing those people through into the security. Obviously, we've got a big partner ecosystem, thousands of trained people around the country on Checkpoint, and I've also built, and we've got a very competent, knowledgeable and accessible leadership team. Some of my leaders that are in the place have been involved in this industry for almost a decade, and they know security very well, and they're available to help you, and they're accessible. They're all here today. So thank you. So what I'll just do now is introduce our first speaker, our president, Amnon Barlev. He's been with Checkpoint since 2005. He was responsible for all sales, services, and our partner program in Checkpoint. Really pleased. He only gets down here once a year. He reminds me how long it is. And he's also a sailor. So it's actually, I found out that other than security industry, I've got something in common with Amnon. That's his Nacra cat. I think that's Amnon there on the back. I'm into sailing a bit myself, but it's a bit different. Note the beer can, note the barbecue. Steve McWhirter, my boss from Singapore, is here as well. Steve likes sailing. So we're hoping that we can collide these two things now that we're getting to know each other, Amnon, from your sailing to my sailing. And maybe one day in the Sydney to Hobart we'll have a Checkpoint Maxi.